Hi, so in this video we're going to look at calculating the area of rectangles, but a little bit more challenging because if we look here then we don't have pictures to work from, and also if you look we are given the measurements in two different units. So we can't automatically find the area, we have to first do conversion to make them in the same unit before we can work out the area. So let's have a look at this first one. Farah has measured her hall for new tiles. The length is 5 meters and the width is 95 centimeters. So we would need to do 5 meters times 95 centimeters, but we can't do this sum while they are in two different units. So we've got to convert to one single unit. And it doesn't matter which way we go. We could convert to meters, we could convert to centimeters. And what we're going to do in this video is do both and to see which one is easier to work with. So the first thing I'm going to do, and you can always do this if you don't have a chart to hand, think about the different units. You've got millimeters, and I'm going from small to big, centimeters, meters, kilometers, and then I know that there are 10 millimeters in a centimeter, 100 centimeters in a meter, and 1,000 in a kilometre. And there's some hints there. First of all, as these go up in size, so do the numbers. We're just adding a 0 each time. 10, 100, 1,000. So that's one way of remembering. The other thing is cent. Cent means 100, as in per cent, or as in a century being 100 years. And again, kilo means 1,000. When somebody says I'm earning 28k, they mean 28,000. So there's a couple of things to trigger memories there. Let's put the same numbers underneath. But what we're now going to do is look at the direction we're going. Let's just change colour. So if I'm going from millimetres to centimetres, centimetres to meters, meters to kilometres, if I'm going in that direction, I'm going from a small unit to a bigger unit. And here's where you have to really use logic. If I'm going from a small unit to a bigger, I need less of them because they're bigger. So I'm dividing. And that's something that really does cause confusions. Let's come back in the other direction. So this way, we're going from a big unit to a smaller unit. If we're filling the same space with a smaller unit, we need more of them, so we're multiplying. And of course, it's got to be the opposite of what we did before. Good, so there's our little chart, and we're going to use that. Let's go back to purple. So I'm going to change to meters. So centimeters, and I want to go to meters, so I'm following the arrow that way. Centimeters to meters, I'm going to divide by 100. 95 divided by 100. Use the calculator if you want to, but because it's a very useful skill to be able to multiply and divide by tens, hundreds, thousands without calculations, you should look that up, but not for this video. Okay, so that would become 0.95 meters. And again, I can think of a strategy for this, because if I'm using centimeters and meters, they work exactly the same way as pence to pounds. So if I had 300 pence, that would be £3. And in the same way, if I had 95 pence. That would equal £0.95. So if you get confused, think of that relationship. The maths is exactly the same because there's 100 pence to a pound and there's 100 centimetres to a metre. The other way of looking at it is that 100 centimetres is 1 metre, so we've got just a bit less, so 0.95. Okay, I'm going to clear this off, and we are now going to find the area. So the area would be 5 times 0.95. Let's get that on the calculator. 5 times 0.95 equals 4.75. Must write down the unit.